you said before, there is it's the fear again. You know, we are not vulnerable. We are in a fear, and
it takes a lot of courage for one person to be vulnerable when the outside of them is not being vulnerable, because you're open to basically attack. So it takes a lot of courage, but you know, I suppose it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's why it's so good to do like little exercises of, or that's what I'm trying to do, to know my intention, you know, to know how I feel, to know my emotions, like, because what I know what I'm putting out, that's what I'm gonna get back. If I approach Paul with an anger, you know, he's pretty good to dealing with quite a lot of anger, but eventually, you know, it bites him. You know, it's like
But it only bites me because I have the same thing in me.
Yes.
So
yeah. We provoke the emotions of others. You know, we have the perfect.
It's just highlighting what's existing.
Yeah, we have the perfect triggers. So it's like if I don't want an anger, you know, what I can do to kind of soften it. If I still am angry and I still need to approach Paul, I can tell him, hey, I'm very angry at this moment. You know, so that way you at least let the other people know what emotion is in you, so they know what they're working with, instead of just walking around and being here like all over the place.
But I'd say like that sounds great, but often in practice, when someone is overcome by anger, there is no space for like, I'm angry, keep out of my way. It's just like, I'm angry. It's taking over.
Yeah. So it's the other person.
That's a good goal to have. It's a good goal to have.
Yeah. It's as I'm saying, it's just a practice. It's like, of course, there are different levels of each situation. But I know in some basics, you know, when we just feel the beginnings of some emotions rising, that's the time where we can identify it. And it's a practice. It's like everything. It's like when you learn a new language, it's effing difficult in the beginning. You know, I've been learning Spanish. Now I'm trying to learn some French because we are just traveling through these countries. And in the beginning, it's just like, what? It doesn't make any sense. But because going back to it every day, you know, I am getting better and better, and some words starting to make sense. So it's exactly with these, with the awareness of our emotions about what we do, awareness of our actions. I know for myself, I've been living most of my life on some kind of autopilot. I've been talking about it yesterday a little bit. When, you know, somebody say ABC, I said automatically DEF. You know, I didn't really tuned in and said like, oh, do I actually want to go there? Do I actually want to do this? Do I actually want to be here? No, it was like there was almost no option. I was like, is it condemn? Like that I needed to, you know, if somebody does that, this is what I need to do. That I had no freedom, which it's amazing that I was living like this. And for me, it's very interesting now to kind of decode and understand, why am I like that? Do I really need to carry on doing this? And how can I, you know, change it and observe what's coming? And it's really interesting journey.
But you don't see that until you see it.
You don't
it's
see
like
it
you
until
can't.
you see it.
You don't know until you know.
Yes.
And then you know.
Yeah. And then you don't know.
But also you can't unknow.
Yeah.
Once you realize something, you can't go back.
Yeah.
You have to continue with that knowledge, whatever it is.
That's true. Well, as you said, that then, you know, once you know, you know. And I know every time I realize something about my life or about whatever, then I realize immediately, I don't know. There is always more. You know, it's like the job is really never done. It's like being focused on that getting to know. That's, you know, waste of time, because then you arrive there and there is no finish. That finishing line is so fleeting. You just, you know, it's like when you look at the runners, you know, they run, and that finishing line, it's just like a banner, and they don't stop at the banner. They just go through it, because there is always another road to run, another place to go, another thing to learn. So, yeah, life is a journey.
I think there's a lot of life is about denying that we actually know. life is going about day-to-day lives, pretending, no, not pretending, but denying that we actually know it all. We know everything, but we just don't want to look at it. You know if you're doing something, well, you don't know, but you know, like if you're doing something that you really don't want to do, but you'll do it anyway, you know in your heart you don't want to do it, but you just can't visit that, because if you address that you hate it, then the next logical step is to stop doing it. You know what I mean? If it's like, let's say it's a, I don't know, let's say it's a job, you know, people, if somebody's in some job that they hate, but they can't actually allow themselves to realize that they hate it. Because the moment you allow yourself to realize you hate it, you have to do something about it. You cannot go backwards and pretend that you can't then lie to yourself again and pretend that, oh no, it's okay, I'll stay longer.
Oh, it's like what?
And that analogy is just about a job, but I think you could apply that to everything in your life.
Do you for sure you remember, you know, when we had our cafe, and it didn't work for either of us, but I remember it took us, I'll talk about me, took me so long to actually realize that I hate it, and then I knew that I hate it, but if I would really embody that I don't want to do this anymore, I would have to move on, but I didn't know where I'm moving or what to do, what's next. And that was so scary that I better, you know, stay there. So it was like, that's in this, that we often know, but we know that with that knowing, with acceptance of that knowing, comes unknown, you know. And I know we could have been in that cafe still today, you know, if I would be waiting for the moment that I will know the path will be lined up, you know, that we will be like, okay, let's finish the cafe on Friday because I know what I'm doing on Saturday and Sunday. That just never happened, you know. It's just like the life is not all for me, and if it would be that way, it would be effing boring, you know, because you would know always what you're doing. That's why I have written on Instagram the road of, what is it, of unknown is the road of freedom, because in the unknown are all the possibilities, you know. If you don't know, anything can happen. If you haven't experienced something, you know, there is possibility to experience it. In the knowing is that good feeling that you know something, but kind of that excitement goes away, you know. There is no we kind of need to always like expand into the me. I know I need to expand, and I know I want to grow into these like undiscovered parts, because even it's hard, there is always this satisfying moment, you know, that fleeting moment of satisfaction when I realize, okay, oh, this is interesting. But if I sit too long in it, it eventually becomes boring.
And also, when you said about like having one path or one thing that you want to do, and you know it's going to be like that, and you feel comfortable and good, that might be fine and great and might be perfect. But at the same time, that completely eliminates every other possibility.
Yes.
The infinite other possibilities are vanished. And you just do this one, and you get a moment of feel good, and then it disappears as well.
Yeah. But it's just another, as you said that, what came to my mind, it can be sometimes hard that we are at like crossroads, you know, that there are always infinite amount of ways where we can go. But I think there is, for me, always one way which I need to go. It doesn't have to be the one which I want to go, but it's the one where kind of everything what stands behind me, all the knowledge I have in me is pointing me. Sometimes it's really hard to see it, and I think that's where the dining car is gonna finish today. Okay, I'll see you in next one. Bye.